We're live. We're live. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. We're live on Instagram. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing just dandy. I'm actually pretty hungry right now. That's how I'm doing. How you doing?
Doing well.
Doing well. You look studious in your
glasses. It looks like super laggy in the screen over there. It looks studious, huh?
It's lagging. Lagging over here. How's everybody doing? All right, today we're going to start off the discussion with the question that was brought to us in the last Q&A video. What foods should you break a fast with? Would you care to start?
Sure. There is no correct answer, but I would personally suggest starting your fast with breaking your fast, with something that is easy to digest, because your body is going from a state of not breaking down foods and having an empty stomach to digesting something new. So something like a shake would be fine. Yogurt would be fine. Bone broth, like a super fatty bone broth. I feel like a lot of people want to break their fast with coffee, which can be fine, but it can be pretty acidic on a empty stomach. We actually do oftentimes break a fast with like keto brick or something like that, just because it is really easy to digest. That was not like trying to be a plug for us, but that is.
But it could be.
A lot of people actually do break their fast with the bricks.
James says he breaks his fast with the bricks.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I don't know, I would always just go for something super easy to digest, maybe even like some eggs or something like that. But generally it's not a lot of food. So you'll usually break it with just like something liquidy or super easy to digest. And then a little bit later you would have like a full meal.
Eggs would be good.
I just said that.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't listen to you.
Nope.
Eggs would be good, whole eggs. The more nutrient dense, but easier to assimilate food options you can get, the better. Organ meats would be pretty good, because organ meats can be pretty easily broken down. You don't want to go straight for a big old steak, generally speaking, because that's going to take a while to break down.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs are good. I like fatty coffee. This is one of the instances in which protein powder may actually not be a bad idea. So yeah, that'd be my take.
Someone said whey, Robert.
Whey, Robert. Yeah, so protein powder. The real Yogi Parker. Hey man, I've been using the hot box thing that you recommended. What's that thing called?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But the hot box thing, where you stick it there and plug it in, and I've been using that a lot lately. I'll pressure cook a meal, and then I'll put it in there. Like if I'm eating leftovers, I'll put that Tupperware with the pressure cooked meal in there for like 30 minutes or so, and it's right on the money.
I think people need to stop recommending that Robert buy things.
Why? Because
you buy everything that's recommended.
I have not bought that bed yet. That's recommended to me.
He got off of a. Can I say that?
What?
You have a podcast coming up?
What, about the bed?
Yeah.
It hasn't gone live yet. But.
Okay. Well, he has a podcast coming up that he just recorded the other day with a bed, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy a bed," and I was like, "We have a bed." But every time he has a podcast with someone, every time someone suggests or recommends something, he like goes out and buys it. I don't know the last thing I bought, because I don't buy stuff. Like usually it's the girl that goes out and like can't stop shopping. This guy.
I'm the girl that goes out and can't stop shopping. No,
he is.
I don't buy.
The money spender.
I don't buy a lot. Hey, Brad Lowry just jumped on here. He recommended I buy a whole bunch of hunting clothing, and I did.
Imagine that. Wasn't it just last week that you suggested that, and then Robert went out and spent a whole bunch of money on...
Yeah. I only buy things that I use on a regular basis.
This is true.
Yes. I don't buy anything that I don't use.
And we do also talk about it. Generally, we talk about it before he buys it.
Yes. Sarah says, Rock, what's up? Sarah, James, the one that eats the keto brick to break a fast. Laura Holloway, how you doing? Carnivore, Lando, I break my fast with 1/2 a brick every day.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. Brad says, I'm about to break fast with 2 pounds of fresh pork side. That sounds like a pretty good meal to me. The new bricks just arrived. Wow, you really need to make this an all year round flavor.
Oh boy, we got another one.
My wife and I are the same way.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, with the, yeah. It will be useful. It will be useful. I'm excited to use it. I'm going to go hunt this weekend. Let me go. This is opening weekend of Modern Gun for deer in Arkansas. So I'll see if I can put some meat on the table.
Gormy said, "What is this keto brick?"
Oh, it's life changing, man.
You can only break a fast with a keto brick. No other option exists.
I do feel like the keto bricks, and I'm probably biased here, but they're not going to be hard to break down.
The thing is yes, Robert started eating these a lot more for his bodybuilding, but I actually started eating them a lot more because they helped me with my digestion, and I don't think we recommend that often enough, because that truly is why I started eating them more often, because I was able to get in more calories, and at that time I wasn't able to eat as much food because I had so much GI stuff that we actually started me eating a lot more bricks for that reason. So I really do think it is great because it's super easy to digest.
All right. Jamie says, OMG, just had the extreme pleasure of biting into my first buttered maple pecan brick as I turned on the live. I may or may not have danced a little. Seriously, this brought me to a new dimension. Gotta make these a regular. So delicious.
Oh
Broke
gosh.
my 24-hour fast with it tonight.
That's awesome.
Nice. That is music to my ears.
Send those bricks to freaking Beijing, man.
Beijing?
Haha, they don't have those here.
We can get them to Beijing. Shipping may be a little expensive, though.
Fatty coffee with eggs for me.
Keto
Hot Logic.
That's it. Hot Logic.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of guns while hiking yesterday. They shouldn't be shooting for deer yet. They may have been sighting their guns in, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they're probably doing. All right. Karen says, got the new buttered maple pecan bricks today. You have outdone yourselves. Awesome flavor.
Thank you.
Thank you. I haven't had any bad responses.
I haven't either. They've all been really good.
All good flavors.
Feedback. What's up? My bricks just came in, and I'm ecstatic. We'll try tonight with my meal.
Let us know what you think. What's it say?
Roberto is about to splurge on a 6-steak grill. He has enough grills.
I have a lot of grills.
He has enough grills. We've gone over this many times on the live.
I do. There's a couple grills that I want to get, though.
There is.
There isn't.
Someday I'll get a house, guys.
Someday. You don't like living in the warehouse? Not your cup of tea, huh?
I've loved it for the last 2.5 years.
What is the strangest thing about living in the warehouse?
I didn't have a shower for 8 months.
Okay, that's pretty strange. We did.
I don't have a kitchen.
We did shower, but we had to go to the gym to shower every day, which was kind of inconvenient.
And I don't have a normal kitchen. Those are the two weirdest things. Like, imagine your life without a kitchen sink.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest.
It is a little strange.
Yeah.
A little strange. I've got to fill a big jug of water from the bathroom sink to fill up our filter.
Yeah.
To have drinking water.
Yes.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, it's been 2.5 years. I think that we'll really look back on this time and think that it was great, because how many people can say that?
Yeah.
Not many.
For all you guys out there, if you find yourself a woman that is willing to live with you in a warehouse, you've got to keep her.
Without a shower.
Without a shower. Just make sure she showers somewhere. Because if she doesn't shower, you may not have a keeper.
Well, hello, someone says.
Hello.
Frying up some salmon and listening to this.
Salmon would be a good way to break a fast, too. You know, fish are pretty easily absorbed. Jacko, get off my carpet. Jacko.
Keto bricks are great for backpacking. Why, thank you.
Can't beat the commute, though.
I agree with that.
That's true.
Bro, the goatee is MIA.
It has gone the way of the dodo bird. Just ordered the new maple pecan brick. Can't wait to try it. Hope you love it.
There is still some on the website, actually, right now.
There is some, yeah. Hello, you two cute kids eating my new maple pecan brick. Love it. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about.
Sounds like trucker life. I can relate.
Yeah, you know exactly what we're talking about, man.
Yeah.
You've done all kinds of stuff for the trucker life.
Y'all, the maple butter pecan is fire.
Yeah, it's
there's another one. Maple pecan is fire, by the way. Even the wife loved it. Had to order more today.
Nice.
See, that is what happens with the limited flavors, I feel. It's like people will buy a couple of them and then they'll try them and they'll go right back on and like, I have to get more.
Yeah,
you know?
Because we're not making any more anytime soon.
These are definitely a seasonal thing for us. It's not going to be a year-round thing. So maybe we'll have to just bring it back earlier next
We
fall season.
did buy a soda stream, Sarah. We did. We don't use as much as we should, but we did buy a soda stream.
Yeah. Actually, we didn't. It was a gift.
It was a gift. Maple pecans are my absolute new favorite brick. So I'm talking about
yay.
Graham. Here's a question. To lose fat, what's the suggestion from your opinion? Low weight, high reps, or the opposite? It's a loaded question. So when you're trying to lose fat, you're going to be in a caloric deficit ideally. When you're in a caloric deficit, you want to make sure that you're not going to lose muscle. The best way to ensure that you're not going to lose muscle is to continue to lift heavy. If you are in a caloric deficit and you stop lifting heavy, your body's going to be convinced that it no longer needs that muscle, and it's going to be catabolic towards that muscle. If you continue to lift heavy, that's one of the best muscle-sparing things you can do. The more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism is going to be, and the more efficient you're going to be at losing body fat. So I would continue to lift heavy.
We just answered that about the maple pecan brick. It is the seasonal flavor. Oh, that's a good question. Which fats give you most energy? I feel a little sleepy off of fatty fish.
So what kind of fish are you eating, out of curiosity? Are you eating a lot of other fats with the meal? Like you're doing a lot of butters and oils? Is it just the fat in the fish itself?
Yeah, a lot of fish are in like olive oil and stuff too.
Yeah. And most, it kind of depends, but a lot of that's going to be packaged in like monounsaturated fats, which are generally pretty good. But you definitely, I mean, unless you have like familia hypercholesterolemia, it's a big word, you may benefit from a little bit less fat. But if not, you probably would want some more saturated fat than just the monounsaturated fat.
Mm-hmm. What is the vertical diet hype all about? I was not sure what that was because I think it just like randomly popped up on so many people's things. It's I'm not really sure. I've not experimented with that myself, so I can't say. But it does seem like a hype. It just seems like all of a sudden, like a bunch of people started doing it. Do you know anything about it, really?
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. So it's not a hype. I mean, Stan Efferding is the guy that coined it. Basically, it's you're still eating a lot of meat, you're still eating a lot of fat, but you're eating a lot more carbs from sources that are easily absorbed, like rice. I don't recommend it. I don't.
But is it like carb backloading? Similar
concept to carb backloading, which was by John Kiefer. But
I think it is. I mean, it has to be. I mean, I'm not saying that the diet is like a hype or it's like a what do they call it when it's just like all of a sudden.
I don't know. I mean, it's been around for a little while. It's
no,
not like a
no,
new
no.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. I'm saying, they always say keto is like a fad. I'm not saying that it's a fad diet, but it does seem like there's a lot of hype around it right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, and I don't say that it's a fad, but it is like there is several people from the keto community trying it or doing it. And I think that people are just wanting to play around with it a lot. But again, Robert and I we don't mess with the carbs. So I don't know a lot about it just because I'm not interested in it, and I won't do it for myself. I won't do it for my clients. But I have seen a lot of stuff about it, so I should probably look into it a little bit.
Yeah. Here we go. Should we pay attention to the kind of fat we eat? Listen to a podcast of Brad Marshall and felt overwhelmed. Yeah, that was a pretty deep podcast for sure. I love the podcast. And the type of fat you consume does matter. Like you don't want to be getting a bunch of vegetable oil fats like soybean oils, canola oils. You don't want a bunch of linoleic acid. So it does matter, but it's kind of like the tiers of how you go about your nutrition matter. So like first things first would be to just eliminate all of the heavily processed carbohydrates, the hyperpalatable carbohydrates, which are going to have a lot of those fats, those bad fats in them. So if you're prioritizing nutrient-dense, high-quality foods, like what you're going to be getting from an animal-based approach, you're going to be, by definition, removing a lot of those bad fats. However, if you want to dive even deeper, the type of food that the animals eat matters, but don't lose the forest through the trees, so to speak. Like get things dialed in on first foundations, first, and then go deeper with the type of food the animals themselves are eating. But yeah, it all does matter.
And one step at a time. I mean, people try to start keto or tries to start one thing or the other, and they just like try to go all in, and it's super overwhelming. And it's like, just take one step at a time. A lot of times I'm like, people just start keto, and then if you want to figure out the macros or the ratios or something like that, then that's the next step. And then the next step is focusing on the quality of the food. And then the next step, so just do one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself, because you're already on a really great path, and it can only get better from here.
There are 4 seasons in a year. You can do butter, maple, pecan, brick 4 times a year. I think we can live with that.
That's funny.
Sneaky. Mike says, howdy from Arizona. Can you explain the benefits of cacao butter, especially breaking it fast? Appreciate you. So kind of going back to the earlier question, cacao butter is really high in stearic acid, which is one of the best forms of dietary fat. It's high in beef suet. It's high in beef tallow. But it's highest in cacao butter, which is the primary ingredient in the bricks. So stearic acid is not going to have many of the adverse effects that a lot of other poor quality fats would have on the body. It is easily absorbed. It's not really going to cause much digestive upset. So if you're breaking a fast, that could be very advantageous.
Can't wait to try the new brick after I get my taste buds back after having COVID.
Ooh, that's the worst.
So sorry that you are dealing with that. That's terrible. I only bought 2 bricks. I was scared I wouldn't like it. Dang it, I should have bought more. Well, there's more on the side.
Don't be scared. Shannon says, howdy. Howdy, Shannon. Lift heavy, got it. What's the set rep recommendation? So I like to keep it between, if I'm going really heavy on certain compound movements, I'll do like 5 or 6 reps. But generally, it's like in the 8 to 12 rep range. But yeah, 6 to 8 on heavier compound movements, up to 12 on some of your auxiliary movements. So that'd be good.
Yeah. There was another one that kind of went with the stearic acid. They said, listening to your last podcast the other day about the stearic acid, and it was interesting. Taking me down a rabbit hole on researching stearic acid.
Yeah, his website, Brad Marshall's website, has a lot of really good information that goes super deep in all of his blog posts. So that would be a really good place to turn. But yeah, it's a rabbit hole for sure.
This is another one. Question, if you don't mind, starting body. No. Oh my goodness, I cannot read. Started building muscle and have increased calories. Work out in the morning, and by the afternoon, I am exhausted. Should I be adding new supplements?
I don't know about supplements. I don't know what your nutrition is looking like, but you may not be eating enough food, in which case you might want to just bring up your overall calories, and then that's going to increase the nutrients you're getting. You may not need to do that through supplementation.
Mm-hmm. And the morning is actually the best time to work out. Your cortisol levels are higher. You have a lot more energy, but making sure that you're eating enough proteins and fats, like not right after, but within the next couple hours after your workout. You don't need supplements unless you aren't getting it in your food. So making sure that you're eating plenty of food, making sure that you're eating the right kinds of food, and that you're eating well after your exercise.
Thank you so much. You betcha. Lakin says fad. I don't know if she was answering the word that you were looking for.
Probably.
I tried the maple pecan yesterday. So good. Perfect. That's what I'm screaming.
Love the new maple pecan bricks, but they are going to be on a special occasion treat. Peanut butter are still my daily brick.
Still the daily brick.
That's good. Are you a fan of calorie front loading? So started the highest calorie meal. I, for example, do only 2 meals a day. So break the fast with a brick and a pound of meat.
I like to do a back load because I train in the morning. So the meal that I eat in the evenings, like tonight, for instance, when I have my meal, that's going to fuel tomorrow's morning workout. I'm not really so much worried about eating a bunch of food right after workout. So my post-workout meal is typically pretty small, just a keto brick and a can of sardines. My biggest meal is typically in the evening hours. That's what I prefer.
And mine is the exact opposite. So for myself, I do my workout in the morning, and then around 11, I will have a meal. Between 11 and 1, I will have a meal that's generally a little bit bigger. That's usually when I have all my meat, eggs or things like that. And when I'm not doing carnivore, I am having like a shake or yogurt in the evening, and that digests really well for me, and I don't have that heaviness in my stomach when I'm going to bed and things like that.
How does programming strength training for someone on a cut differ from someone who is at maintenance or in a surplus? Honestly, the programming stays pretty constant. I don't really change the programming much, whether I'm in a cut or in a building phase. I'll change the amount of cardio that I'm doing, and I'll change my macronutrient intake. But my actual weight training programming stays pretty much the same throughout.
When you are cutting, you want to make sure that you are at least maintaining the same exercise. A lot of people, when they get into a cut, they start to lack a little bit of energy, and they want to work out either less or they don't want to lift as heavy. But the goal is to just maintain what you've been doing in your off season or in your building season or whatnot in your cut as you are in those periods of time, plus maybe incorporating some more cardio.
Brad says, I hear you talking about chaffles quite often. You have any resources for good recipes and uses for these? Yeah, man, chaffles are like the bomb.com. They're super easy. You can make them. It's like one egg per every 2 cups of mozzarella cheese.
Don't listen to Robert.
Don't listen.
It's 1 egg to like a 1/4 cup of cheese.
1/4 cup cheese.
Not
All right,
2.
so 1 egg per 1/4 cup of cheese, or you can do a carnivore.
Yeah,
which is,
I want to make a video on this, but I did the other day 1 egg to like 1 to 1.5 ounces of meat. So if you do like 4 ounces of meat, some sort of ground meat, and then 4 eggs, and you mix it up in a blender, it kind of looks really gross, but then you put it in the waffle maker, and it is delicious. You can put butter on it, add any seasonings that you want.
Make a savory one if you want it.
Make it into a sandwich and have extra meat in there. It's just so good.
You got some over there?
I love you guys, period. Ketogenic bodybuilding saved my life. Thank you.
Saved mine too.
Amazing.
From fatty to natty
Bodybuilder.
I like it.
I am doing no veg November, no just meat, and I feel great. 63 years old and 60+ pounds gone. That's
awesome.
Amazing.
That is what I'm talking about.
That's really, really cool.
How is Crystal liking carnivore? She loves it. Should we not give anything else?
I am doing a video that's coming out on Friday, and I actually don't mind the mental part of it. I don't have any cravings. I don't have like, I wish I could have this. I wish I could have that. I don't have any of that. But my body is not responding well to it. So I'm going to go over all of that in the video that goes out Friday. Actually, I think I'm going to record that this evening. And it'll go out on Friday, and I'll kind of just like update you guys on what's happening and why I think it's happening and all the things, because a lot of people think carnivore is just like this amazing thing that cures all, but it may not be the answer for everyone.
Have you guys found any magic ways to resolve headaches? Do you find electrolytes are also related? Yes, definitely electrolyte related for the most part. I
did just do a whole story on this the other day because I've been getting these crazy, crazy headaches.
And she's been giving me these crazy, crazy headaches.
But I've been getting crazy headaches, but mine are more like tension headaches. And I had a lot of people suggest different things like peppermint essential oils, just like smelling it, laying down, using a hot compress or a cold compress, I don't do any medications or like ibuprofen, Advil, none of that kind of stuff. What else do I like to do? Making sure that you eat something, drinking plenty of water, make sure that your electrolytes are on point. What are the other things that I've been doing?
Not doing a whole bunch of caffeine.
Yeah, limiting your caffeine. I like to sleep with a heating pad on my shoulders, and I think that helps release some of the tension. And then actually just doing a lot of stretching. And it doesn't seem like something in your head could be from your body, but if your body's holding stress, then your head's going to hold stress as well. 60 grams grated mozzarella to 1 egg. Okay, that'll work.
Crystal, how's the carnivore going? You can just explain. I think this question came up before. But yeah, she's also got a video coming out.
That's so funny. You look lean. I will explain all the things. I'm not looking lean, I promise.
It's not a good thing that she's looking lean.
Yeah.
It's because your
Crystal-
glasses are so big, it makes your face look skinny.
Yep. Crystal, do you miss the bricks? If I were to have one thing, it probably would be a brick. That was the one thing I think that I was like, I would totally have a brick right now in like 3 days in. And I think it was because we were making the buttered maple pecan and I could just smell it all day long and I was dying.
Very good.
Have you suffered from low libido during your cut, or is that just because I'm 64? 64, 46.
Definitely
Sorry.
the cut. When you go down and do
Yes.
a bodybuilding show, your hormones are going to be off. That's just how it works, especially in natural bodybuilding. However, that will regain a sense of normalcy as soon as you start bringing in calories and your levels return to normal.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what your ratio is between fat and protein, but even on a cut, if your fat is higher, you generally have a little bit higher libido, but it's very, very common. Happened to Robert during his cut. It's happened to me during my cut. Very, very common because your hormones are going to take a hit first. Your body will cut off the first thing that it doesn't need, and you don't need a sex drive when your body's trying to take away the least important things. A lot of females will lose their period because your body doesn't need that time. So very, very common. But it'll just come right back as soon as you start eating more food and more fat.
After a little bit of time, like it's not going to immediately happen.
It's gotta be a couple weeks, a month or so, and then But yeah, make sure to get in a lot of fat too when you're done with your cut. I use 1.5 cups of cheese and 1 egg. That's a lot of cheese. That's almost as much as your 2 cups.
This one says 4 ounces meat plus 3 eggs. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can make it however you want.
I was saying 1 ounce of meat to 1 egg, so that's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's like 1.5. Hey guys, great to see you. Question: for muscle weight gain, lean mass, increased protein to ? I'm eating 160 grams of protein, 230 fat as my goal per day.
So when the primary goal is to build muscle, you want probably at least a 1 gram of protein per pound of desired lean mass. I would like, if the primary goal is to build muscle, I'd probably bump it up to like 1.2 or even 1.5 grams. No need to go like super low. So I would do at least 1 and then probably fine to do 1.2 or 1.5. Depending on how your blood levels are doing, how you're feeling, lots of nuance there.
Organ meat, do you consume?
I do consume. There's a lot of ways to get them. Like Crystal's been even eating them. She doesn't like organ meats, but like liverwurst sausage or like a blend or like a pate or something like that would be good.
Yeah, I found like US Wellness Meats has a blend of heart, kidney, liver, and beef. And then they also sell that at Whole Foods, but it's a blend. It's of ground meat, and you can just add it to any other ground meat, and you can't really tell a difference.
James says, carnivore is a little hard for me too. I seem to do better with the meat and bricks protocol or carnivore plus bricks, whatever you want to call it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty much, like, carnivore is a subset of keto in my mind, but I like having a little bit of texture and a little bit more dietary fat, so the meat and bricks works pretty well for me. Tina says, what does Tina say? I have a big waffle iron that flips, so I use 2 or 3 eggs and a 1/4 cup of cheese. I tried ground chicken and egg, and it wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what you can make with it.
Jonathan says, bro, why are your biceps about to pop out of your shirt, dude? Need to go a size up, conceal all of them gains.
I don't feel like I look that big in this shirt.
It's actually a stretchy shirt. Like these are nice, like fancy shirts, but they're also like stretch material.
Yeah.
Crazy headaches. Well, y'all are married people now. Ha 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 ha
ha. Crystal drive me crazy.
Harry has been getting migraines. Found out the brand of collagen she was using was causing them. Interesting.
That is interesting. When was it in collagen?
What is it? Yeah, what was in the collagen that was causing it?
Any thoughts on cheat meals, carb cheats, or just resist? Just resist. Like, if you have to have a cheat meal, then it's not a good psychological relationship with food. So, like, I don't feel like that's a good thing.
Yeah. No more Keto Savage.
Yeah, it's gone. It was back for like a week,
and then they said now that it's back, just joined, but it's not back anymore.
Yeah, it was back for a week, and then they took it away from me again. So now I'm back to Live Savage. So I have no idea what's going on with Instagram. I encourage y'all all to have other platforms and not rely super heavily on one.
He got Keto Savage taken away, so we started Live Savage, and then Keto Savage came back, but then they took it away again. So we're just gonna not hold our breath for that one, and we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah. What you got?
Ketones have been very low, higher glucose. Cut protein back to 60 and 77 to 78% fat, and ketones skyrocketed. And glucose lowered. Thoughts seems higher protein will affect both. It depends on your body.
Yeah, but 60 grams of protein, I don't know how big you are, but 60 grams of protein is not that much protein. So ideally, you could keep that 77 to 78% fat ratio, but have enough total calories that you're consuming more overall protein.
Mm-hmm. I got a recipe for spiced chocolate ricotta waffles. Ooh, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
You're making me hungry.
What the heck? No reason? Son of a biscuit.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's my sentiment exactly.
That's
do you put the 1.5 teaspoon salt in your water? You certainly can.
I don't like salty water, so I end up just putting it on my food.
Yeah. Brandon says, hi. What's up, Brandon?
Hello.
Mike says, have you guys thought of monthly subscription option for the bricks? We have, but I'm redoing a lot of the website right now, and depending on what I wind up doing, it may or may not make sense to do the subscription. So there's a lot of background work happening with the Keto Brick website, and I'm going to hopefully roll that out going into the new year.
We didn't have that for a moment, though.
We had it for the
just
month.
For the Mocha.
The Mocha 1 month subscription. But we took that down because it just didn't make sense based off of where we're going. So we'll see how things get revamped. You guys are great. Much admiration for you. From Denver, Colorado. Well, hello from Denver, Colorado. That's a beautiful place to be. We kind of we got time. Any more questions? Or is that
no,
all
we're good to go.
All right. So we need a question for next week, y'all. Hit us up with the question for next week. Next question in will be next week's question. It was like a rap song right there.
Okay.
Hit us up with the question.
I eat a lot of fat to deal symptoms associated with CTE. Still losing weight. Went from 618 to 279.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
That's a big drop.
That is amazing.
Yeah. A lot of people think you can't eat fat trying to lose weight, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, that's so true.
And the podcast I had with you, man, was freaking awesome. You had a great story. More people need to hear your story. So that's what I'm talking about.
So many peeps on the Bricks and Meat Protocol is amazing. Made to create a group.
We should create a group.
That's funny.
The Meat and Bricks is where it's at, y'all. I'm digging it. Salt added to hot warm water is good. It's yucky in cold water. Yeah, it doesn't dissolve as much. Keto for autoimmune.
That's a good idea.
Question for next one. All right, we'll do that. Keto for autoimmune. You got it? That's the next question.
Let me take a picture. I got it. I'm not going to remember.
Keto for autoimmune from Sarah.
Got it.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great one. Wish me luck at my Killer Deer this weekend. Put meat on the table. Hopefully, y'all have a great weekend as well. And we will see y'all next week. Take care. Toodaloo. Ta-ta for now.
Love you guys.